Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our AITS Tech Talk webinar. I'm so glad to virtually meet all of you again. Today's session is part 3 of our campaign dedicated for the AVEVA Insight solution. As you know, we have started with the first session, which was the architecting from edge to enterprise. During that webinar, we introduced the AVEVA Insight. We showed its features, advantages as our industrial cloud-based solution. Then during the second webinar, it was more a technical demo showing the product components details, in addition to some examples on how to generate an alarm and setting its conditions. Today, we will continue to deep dive into the product capabilities, and as promised before, we will cover all the questions that we have received during our recent webinars regarding the communication and connection with AVEVA Insight. So basically, the topic today is how to communicate with AVEVA Insight. I will leave the detailed agenda to my colleague Munzir Qarhani. He's our speaker today, who will be leading us for the coming 45 minutes. So please feel free to type any questions you will have during the webinar in the question box, and we will definitely answer all your questions by the end of the session. Now, I just wish you an informative session, and I will leave you in safe hands with my colleague Munzir. Hi, Munzir.
Hi, Nader. How are you today? Hey, everyone. Well, as Nader explained, today I will host this webinar about the communication to AVEVA Insight. So to continue with this series of AVEVA Insight, today will be the different types of connections. We'll start how to connect from an IoT gateway using a JSON or CSV. Then we'll connect with Scitec. We'll do the demonstration for AVEVA Edge using Insight Publisher as well for IO server and InTouch HMI. And in case we have a Historian server or system platform, we will show you how to communicate or to publish from a Historian server, and we'll talk a little bit more about Historian server with hybrid architecture. So just a briefing. What is Insight? Insight is a cloud-based industrial solution for operations when we can collect, store, and visualize data. And Insight have a plus module like MES functionality, condition management. We can do condition management. It has some advanced analytics. We can use some machine learning, mobile reporting, and other modules. And we will cover this module with different videos. Now, Insight enable us to connect, and this is what we'll focus today, how to connect critical products from anywhere, anytime, any device, even any software. Well, we'll show you the methods. Unlock plants, performance, and efficiency KPIs like OEE and assets utilizations, assets comparisons. Compare across assets, plants, or fleets. Understand the performance and state of production process in visual context. We'll create, this is what Insight can allow us to do, create personalized content, dashboards, and alert, and share the dashboards and share these data with our colleagues across the team anywhere. Now, regarding the communication, we have 4 types of communication or 4 methods of communication. Even we can connect Insight to an HMI or SCADA. So even HMI like Historian, InTouch Access, InTouch Standard or Scitec to connect through a tiered Historian or any third-party application using OI server, or the 4th method is IoT Gateway. To show that, we will go as we will start from the last one, the IoT Gateway. But first, I will show you a demonstration about this live demo when I already prepared those data or those tags. So I have the first tag here is connected through a CSV. This is a manual data, and I'll show you how to create manual data or how to connect a JSON or IoT gateway. When you have the name of a cluster, that means this is a tag coming from a Scitec Scada. I have a tag coming from Edge, AVEVA Edge. I have another tag here coming from InTouch, another tag here coming directly from OI server, And here I'm using a Modbus OI server, MBTCP. And last but not least, from the name you can find it, it's showing the name of the PC or computer name dot the tag name. This one is coming from a historian server. So let's start first with an IoT. An IoT gateway, to connect with an IoT, we need the simple method is to drag and drop or just upload a file, CSV or JSON file. How to do that? Simply go to your account, AVEVA Insight, administration, go for data source, and from data source here you can have all these data sources that I already prepared. Some of them will create a new one regarding IoT gateway. So let's add one, and this is how to create a new data source where you want to upload a CSV or JSON. So click on it and put the name that you want. Let's name it IoT Gateway, for example, connection. And you can create, but we will not do this one, where you can create a location name with a location, latitude, longitude, and elevation. So any location name, that means this IoT exists in this location, and this is needed when you are using the map application or the map tools. But we'll not use this one now, and you will find that this will be available on any type of communication. So after putting the name of our communication or a data source, okay, here you have the endpoint that you can use with the token, and the drop, you can drop or upload the CSV JSON file from here. Now, how the JSON file or the CSV file must look like, you can download some samples like data with a narrow CSV or wide CSV, and this is what I will use today. You can have a data and events as a JSON file, or metadata as a CSV or JSON metadata. I have a one with a wide file that I already installed previously. This is, you can find inside manual data, and okay. That's it. As easy as it's shown. Close, and you have this one, IoT Gateway connection. Just give it a little bit of time and it will be published soon. So that's it for the IoT Gateway. Regarding Scitec Scada connector. For Scitec Scada, you need to download a connector. Where to find this connector? And this connector can be used for publishing to Insight and to publish to Historian. So let's go and I will show you where to find it. Again, go to Insight Suite, Administrations. In the administration here, Downloads, go for Downloads. And in Downloads, you can find Insight Publisher. This Insight Publisher, I'll show it for you. It's the publisher for InTouch standard and for OI server. And you have Scitec Scada connector, you can download it. And this is another tool we call the DMZ secured link, to have a secured link to from your OT to Insight. So download your Scitec Scada connector, then go to, I have the environment is already here, your Scitec environment, server or client. I'm using a server in here, but it's supposed to be on runtime. Open your Scitec Studio. Let's go for projects. And I have this example, this project is running. Now, before starting this connector, what you need to make sure about is next to Setup Wizard, go to Setup Editor. There is a Scitec API for the for runtime client. Open it and look at the remote part. You can read the explanation here. This remote part must be equal to 1. By default, it's 0. If it's 0, it will not publish, so make it 1. This will allow the runtime Scitec runtime to remote and the remote one to publish the data. This is one. Two, go for your system module and check what variables, alarms, or trends you need to publish. So for example, I have alarm 1. And how to publish, simply go for historize and make it true. Once it's done and everything is fine, recompile and run your system, run your project. So the project must be running. Then you can configure your connector. Double click to open the connector. Okay, go for settings. Now it's disconnected because it's not running. Let's go for settings. In the settings, put what is your CT API. That means the machine that is publishing from now. Right now, I'm using the local host and username engineer with the password. This username that you can configure it from the project itself. So it's supposed to be the user of the project. Okay. Then choose your destination. As you see, I have historian destination. Same, put host, username, and password, or Insight if you want to go on cloud. So I show you direct the new data to Insight, yes. And here I have to register a new configuration. Choose what is your Insight publisher or your Insight account. So that we have 3 accounts with different addresses. What I'm using is the European one. European one, that means it's online.wonderware.eu. This is the European one because it's faster for me. Then it will ask you, do you have an existing one or do you want to create a new account on Insight? Oh, I have existing one. Put your username and password of Insight. This is username or email address and password of your Insight account. Now here it will show you all the solutions you create in your Insight account. I'm using this one to publish my data. Just choose it. Here you can give a new data source, or you can choose one of your data source. Let's create a new data source. I will name it Scitec Connection 2 and publish. There is done. Save. Now let's start. Online. It will wait. Online. That's it, and it's published. How to know if it's published or not? Let's go back to our connectors, administration, data sources, and you can find Scitec Connection 2. Just give it a little bit of time, and it will publish. The IoT Gateway started already 6 minutes ago, so it's working fine now. We can find it in our dashboard. This is regarding Scitec, as easy as I show you. Now regarding AVEVA Edge, AVEVA Edge doesn't need a connector because the connector exists inside AVEVA Edge. Let's show it. And I have an environment here. When AVEVA Edge is running, project name, I have a project here. So how to prepare a communication with AVEVA Edge? First, I have to go for tasks. In trend logger, right click, insert a new one. Now I already prepared one already here. This is the trend one. I already prepared it. So let's put a description. This is Insight connection as a description. You have to choose historian. Okay. And you can save on every minute or every seconds. You can trigger on data change. So once the data change, you can save on your Insight, and under tag name, put the tags that you have in communication or global, the tag that you want to publish in your Insight. So once you put all these configuration, go for historian configuration. By default, it will show it's historian on premise, and but I need to publish to Insight. So this is how I publish to historian, and you can use the publisher of Edge to send data to Insight, or as a CSV or JSON. However, I want to use the publisher. Let's create another name. It's Edge Connection 2, for example. And you can have a prefix for every data. So if your tag name is ctank1, etc., so you can, to know your tag, you can put a prefix or you can remove your prefix. So here it's AVEVA Edge as a prefix, .ctank, etc. You can find this combination in your Insight. You can enable store and forward. This is Insight configuration to enable store and forward, to check the runtime or the reloads, the status or end reload. But what's more important from this is the gateway. So here I'm using the localhost gateway 127.0.0.1, but the typical situation, the runtime is actually not the engineering machine. So this is why you have to put what is the machine that need to publish the application. So put the IP address of that machine with the TCP/IP with the TCP ports that you need. So that's it, and okay. Once everything is done from here, let's close and save yes, and close this one. Once it's done, you have to go for the gateway on the runtime machine. Oh, sorry, I have to save everything. It's already saved, yeah. Once it's done, you have to go for the gateway, the running gateway on the running machine. Right click, it's here, it's hidden. Remove the hidden part. Open the Studio Database Gateway. Go for AVEVA Insight connection, and let's add a new connection. I call it Edge Connection 2. It's added, and as you see, the publisher will open. Same method of Scitec that we use in Scitec existing. Put a password. And choose your solution. Here it will ask you what's your data source name. It will be Edge. I'll name it Edge Connection 2. So it will create one and publish. That's it. Close and hide this one. And you'll see that your connection, database connection, will be shown there. This is regarding Edge. Insight Publisher allow you to connect two different tools or two different products. You can connect the OI server by an import-export by the import methods, or you can use AVEVA Publisher, Insight Publisher, to publish your InTouch HMI. Let's start with an InTouch HMI. For InTouch HMI, simply go to Publisher, and I showed you where to download your Insight Publisher. Go for AVEVA after you install it, Insight Publisher. And if you didn't use the publisher, the Insight Publisher, this page will not show. It will show, let's go for a new configuration, continue. It will show you this page. So I need to publish an InTouch application. I already have an InTouch application running right here. So let's go and publish it. As well, go for Europe, existing, see it's repetitive. Okay. Insight connection. Now here it will ask you, where is the application path? Okay, do you want to include alarms and events? Okay, let's include it. So you can change the application path if you want, continue. And let's create a new data source. I will name it IT connection 2. Next. And here it will ask you for a location. Same location. I don't need any location with latitude, longitude, and elevation, and publish. That's it. It's done. This is regarding the InTouch standalone application. Now, if you have an I/O server, you want to publish directly from a PLC, or you have a broker, so you have to collect data from a broker MQTT and send it to your Insight using the publisher as well. So in my case, I will, because they are same methods for the OI server, I have a Modbus MBTCP running a PLC simulator. I will show it for you, and I have to prepare the device items. So those are the name, and those are the item reference as a Modbus from the PLC. I want to publish everything related to Mixer 100. To do that, I need to prepare the Excel file. So the Excel file here will show, I have to prepare it in this way, the tag name, description, tag type. So as you see here, I want to publish with this name to be shown on my Insight, this item name in my InTouch, so in my OI server. So this what exists in my OI server, and this what I want to show in my Insight. So how to find those elements and what the meaning of every element, including the name of your PC, the PC name, including if you have a store and forward path on your PC. So how to find all these elements and the meaning of them? Let's go to your Insight online help. You can find your Insight. Let's go here. Insight, again, go for help, right click here, and from your help file, go to building Insight solution. You'll find a configuration tag reference for OPC data source, and the elements, there is a table here showing for every element the meaning and the parameter you need to add in your Excel sheet. So after preparing all of these, how to publish, simply go to your environment or your application. Let's close the publisher and open it again. I will open the publish AVEVA Insight Publisher. I'll make a new configuration, continue. But in this case, I will use import. Now you'll find here something called authorize. The authorize is used for Historian SDK if you have a developed tool and you want to authorize it for Insight. You can use the authorize. I will not use it. I will not talk about it more in this session. I will go for import and search for your Insight publish application. Go for Historian. I want to publish the Mixer 100, this one that I already prepared. Open. And same methods. I need to search the right Insight Publisher. Already have. Put username and password. Choose your solution. And you can give a data source name. So let's name it. This one is IO connection 2. Next. Now location, I don't need any location for this now. Type latitude and longitude. This is used in map, in the Insight map application. And that's it, done. So that's it for Insight Publisher. Last but not least, the Historian server. Now, the Historian server it has some hybrid architecture. Historian to Historian tiered application or Historian to Insight tiered application. So normally, if you have a big application or big facilities like smart cities, for example, or a big infrastructure spread it all over the country, so every site have its own, maybe his own historian, tiered one. We call it tiered one historian. But what if I have a headquarter and I want some of these sites to report some tags to the headquarter? So I am, for example, I have a headquarter in Riyadh and one in Doha, and I want to report those, some of them to those central rooms or headquarters. I have two different types of replication. I have simple replication. That means the tag will be replicated as it is to central room. And that means I'm reading the tag runtime value, or I have what we call the summary replication. That means every 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, etc. I can configure it, and I'll show you how. Every 1 hour, I want a summary about that tag. That means I want the maximum, minimum, average, the first value, and the last value. Only the summary. It depends on you. Well, the good thing about tier 1 to tier 2 historian, and I have tier 3, tier 4, etc., until tier n, that I can send data from, let's say this site is an OT, and the one in control room or the headquarter is an IT. So I can divide, or I can isolate the OT from IT. In this case, I can send in one direction from tier 1 to tier 2, and this will save my sites from any, it's a site security and cybersecurity reasons. But not only this, I can, with the hybrid architecture from any tier, I can send to my AVEVA Insight. How to do this? I don't need any type of publisher. The publisher is a built-in, and to go from a tier 1 to tier 2, or tier n to tier n+1, or to publish to Insight, both methods are similar. Let's check how to do this. So I have here a historian server running and having some data from a system platform. So I have an engine sending some data, I think several tags, 42 tags to my historian, and I want to replicate some of these tags. How to do that? Let's go for configuration editor, system configuration, and here you'll find replications. So you can prepare some schedule. By default, you have this schedule: 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, or 1 day. This is for a summary use. You can add a new replication schedule, but this is a different story. In our case, I need to create a new replication server. So go for replication servers, right click, and let's make a new replication server. In case you want to go for a tier n to tier n+1, in both sides, you have to put the node name IP address. So you have to put the name of this replication. Let's name it Insight 2, for example. And description: this is Insight replication. Okay. So in case you want to replicate to another tiered historian, you simply put the username and password, and instead of Insight 2 here, you have to put the IP address of the tier 2 historian or tier n+1 historian. So this is the tiered historian. You just need to put the IP address of the server where you should send your application to. Now, in my case, I want to send to AVEVA Insight. So this is why I will check replicate to AVEVA Insight and register. Let's make a new registration, and it will be in the same way. Europe. I have an account. Put password. And it will ask you to create a new data source. I'll call it Wonderful Historian Server Connection 2. Next. Same location, I will drop it. Latitude, longitude, and elevation, drop it for now. And that's it. Yeah. Once it's done here, let's go for next. Again, if you want to go for tier 2 historian, it's not, you don't have to check the replace and put the IP address for the tier 2 historian server. For that, just to remind you, for tiered historian or tier 2 historian, you need an enterprise historian server. Let's go for next. And here you can customize how you want to check your tag from Insight or from Tier 2 Historian server. In my case, I'll use the default. So for simple replication, it will show me the prefix, which is the computer name, and the source tag name. Replication default with type of attribute, etc. This in case of the replication, the summary replication. It will show you what is the summary 5M, that means every 5 minutes, and finish. But it's not done. Let's go to the replication that we create. This is Insight 2. And I need to make a simple replication for now. I will drop the summary replication for now, and I will make a simple replication. So go for simple replication, right click, let's add multiple tags. And here I can, if I click on find now, I will find here all the tags that I need. Those all tags exist in my historian. Or you can search by name, like let's say temp. I need every tags that have temp right now. So let's replicate those 3 tags into my historian. Okay, and apply. Close. And before we forget, go for configuration editor, right click. There is pending changes. Click on commit pending changes. You can display what are the changes that you did for the last everything you did last time. I create some replication and I add those tags. Okay, and commit the pending. Okay, committed. Okay, and done. This is all what you need to do. Now you can go to the Insight. Let's refresh. And you'll find, give it a little bit of time, and you'll find that the data source you have Scitec connection to, the Edge connection to that I created, the IoT InTouch connection, OI connection, and Historian server connection to. Those are what I commit right now. And it will show you what are the latest updates here. I think the Edge didn't published yet. Last updates, it will show you what are the last updates. I have a few seconds coming from Historian server. Then let's go for Insight. And you can search for whatever tag you need. So let's go for cluster, for example. Cluster, that means I'm searching for Scitec. Cluster Scitec cluster 1 starting from Scitec, and put and add the connection that you want. Okay. And this is how we can connect. I already covered how to connect from InTouch, from Historian, OI server, IoT Gateway for the hardware, and Scitec. And this, I think it covers all types of communications. Thank you. Any question?
Thanks, Moser. Thank you so much. Personally, I liked how this webinar combined all our customers and system integrator questions, to be honest, covering the communication part of the AVEVA Insight. So I hope the audience found it interesting as much as I did. Now, Moser, let's just give a few minutes to hear from the audience if they have any questions or clarifications. And in the meanwhile, let me just remind you, ladies and gentlemen, you can feel free to type any questions. You have it in the question box. And regarding the webinar recording, in case one of your colleagues or your team didn't have the chance to attend today, you can find the links of our video recording. It will be sent to you first of all, and you can find now the links of our social media platforms on the chat box. You can just follow us, for example, on YouTube to stay tuned always about all our webinar recordings and latest technologies. Let me see, Munzer. Yeah, one more point to remind the gentleman that regarding the 2 webinars that we have done before regarding the Insight as well, you can find the links as well in the chat box. The first one was the Architecting from Edge to Enterprise, and the second one was Insight 2020 webinar. Munzer, the first question, are all connectors available in the 45 days demo in case we signed in? and any limitation in the demo version?
Okay, the connectors, any limitation? No, there is no limitation. As you see, I'm actually, let me show you. I'm actually using the 42 days trial version, and I already used all the connectors now. So no, there is no limitation regarding the connectors. And for what the other the second part of the question?
If all the connectors are available in the 45 days demo.
Yeah, this is all available. The second part of the question.
Any limitation for the demo version?
For the demo version, no, there is no limitation for the demo version. It's flattened for. But regarding I think this is a sales question regarding the depends on the license that you have. For example, standard license, it will be available every 5 seconds regarding the delay, and the enterprise every 1 or 2 seconds. Now this is supposed, yes, I think this is how it's supposed, but generally no, there is no limitation regarding the trial version.
Yes, okay. Regarding today's question, I have received like a couple of questions about the Scitec connector, the cost of it, the references. Definitely, we'll ask our sales team to come back to you regarding this, since this one is more a technical webinar. So second question, Munzer, what's the storage period you support?
The storage period depends on your license. The storage now for trial is 42 days, as you see. Regarding the there is 1 year and 5 years storage period, depends on your license. But if you need an unlimited storage period, in this case you have to contact the SIS. You need an enterprise license.
Okay, good. Third one, can an action be triggered with third-party application based on condition or selected value? Okay.
Can any action, that means the question here? Yeah. Could you please repeat the question?
Yeah, they're asking if an action can be triggered with a third-party application based on condition or a selected value.
Third-party application. Yeah, regarding the third-party application, this is what I leave it for maybe next webinar or another video or another session. Any third party that can host an API or can what the name is compatible with an API, it can trigger this type of actions. So I will show you where to find these API things. We can find it in the help file, building insight solution, and you can find here several types of API historian, data REST API, the insight chart API. So if you want to trigger an action based on events, yes, you can use if your application support APIs, you can use it to trigger this type of action.
Okay.
Yep.
Just let's give one more minute.
To an API. Yeah.
Okay. Next one, can M262 or any other PLCs that can publish MQTT be connected to AVEVA Insight? And can it be done directly, or we need a broker first? So they are asking about the M262 or any other PLC, like any PLC that can publish the MQTT. It can be connected directly to Insight without any broker or something?
Yes, exactly. This is what I showed. Thank you for this question. Let me go back to this Insight Publisher. This is what I showed in this Insight Publisher. In case you have an MQTT, no, it's not directly from a broker to Insight. You have to take it to your OI server and send it to AVEVA Insight. And this will be done with AVEVA Publisher. Okay, with AVEVA Publisher when you import the Excel file, the Excel sheet.
Okay, great. It seems that's all for now. No more questions. Yeah, that's all for now, Munzer. So thank you so much for your time and for your slides and efforts. I want to just thank everyone for attending today's webinar. And as always, we want to wish you a nice weekend. Stay safe till we meet again virtually with a new webinar topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you everyone. Thank you, Nader, and keep safe.
Bye-bye.